Welcome to Tuesdays with Tom. So glad you could join me today. This past Sunday was absolutely dynamite. The block party outside was filled with joy, fabulous pancakes. Thanks to everyone who helped make that happen. And the worship service was truly a homecoming in so many ways. And by now you've heard we are living into becoming an Acts 2 church. This wonderful picture painted in the second chapter of Acts that describes the ideal congregation. And you all have felt called to grow as a congregation, to grow into these verses, I believe. And one of those areas of growth that you desire is to grow spiritually. And this means deepening your prayer life. But a question was asked in Sunday school at Adult Ed. How do we do that? How do we grow spiritually as a congregation and individuals? And it comes through making sure you engage your faith in the most difficult questions that we encounter in this world. Thus, I want to thank so many people who submitted questions about those irksome Bible passages and those troublesome areas of faith. There'll be sermon series coming up in the winter and spring. And there was questions about theodicy. How can God allow evil? Questions about the Lord's Prayer. Lead us not into temptation. Is God leading us into temptation that we have to ask God not to do it? That seems rather bizarre. And then the very honest question. What does it mean to believe in Jesus? The whole Jesus thing seems overly complicated and related to an ancient understanding of blood sacrifices. And why in the form of just one person, and a man at that? The question goes on, and if it's so important to know about Jesus in the incarnation, then how can people, some, live their whole lives and never hear of him? The whole system is challenging. And that's a question that I will address in this series. So it's truly critical that we're honest about those deep questions that confront us in the depths of our hearts and challenges us as a society. That will enable us to grow in our faith. And let's face it, the Bible even recognizes that things are not always so easy. Even the great Saint Peter wrote this. And regarding the patience of our Lord as salvation, so also our beloved brother Paul, so he's talking about the Apostle Paul, the Apostle Paul wrote to you according to the wisdom given to him. But some of these things are hard to understand. Even St. Peter had a hard time understanding St. Paul. And St. Paul, in his first letter to the Corinthians, said, "For what human being knows what is truly human, except the human spirit that is within them? So also no one comprehends what is truly God's, except the Spirit of God." So we journey closer to God by finding a way to listen to that Spirit within while engaging the mind we have been given. Blessings and peace be with you.